Welcome to the Windy City Bender podcast with your hosts, Noli, Boatsy, and Jerem.
Hey there, everybody. We're back. We did the thing. We're here. Hi. It's episode 52.
51.
We're all, fuck me. Start it again.
No, we're just rolling with it. I like that.
Hey there, everybody. We did a thing. Episode 51. The soupy, Brian Campbell. Here, as per usual, is Potes, along with Noli.
Hey.
And Jerem.
How's it going, boys?
Good. How you guys doing?
Oh, just dandy. Drinking my hot chocolate, watching the Leafs.
Nice.
Oh.
Fuck.
Get
Not
on.
so good
Okay.
anymore.
Oh, fancy.
Oh,
boy.
Yikle.
Yeichel just dropped a bomb.
Didn't you just say he wasn't feeling too good?
Yeah, he went into the boys weird. He's all right now. You know, like, the thing is, when the Leafs play the Sabres, it's upsetting because when the Sabres score, it's like, it's probably the greatest goal song in the NHL.
You get so excited.
Oh, God,
Yeah, but it's like, I can't be excited.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I'm feeling right now.
You be excited on the inside.
It's all right. At least it's not like the Calgary-Columbus game that's going on right now. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yikes. I hope you took the over in that one, folks.
You know what? I've been staying away from Columbus. I've had Tampa, and they've screwed me twice. I got Tampa again tonight. They're down 4-3 last time I looked.
Yeah, yikes.
Hey, came back at
So,
some with the Hattie. What up?
I'm getting pissed. Nothing is working, and I'm always with just one off. That's it. I get 2 out of 3 all the time. I can never get the third one. God damn it! Now it's 5-3. Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Well, whatever.
anywho.
So that's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about how bad the Blackhawks are, even though Joe Quenneville's not their head coach anymore.
So, I got the record since Hughes was fired. 3-8-2.
Not great.
And of those 10 losses, they have let up the first goal in 8 of them.
What about in the wins? I feel like there's just as many,
Yeah, no, I didn't look at
even though there's only 3 wins.
Either a first goal or a goal 5 minutes into the game. Either
Yeah.
way. It's absurd. So it's weird to watch them play. When they're in the offensive zone, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. This isn't so bad. They're actually sustaining some pressure, and it's good. And then they go to the defensive zone. You're like, where is everybody going? What is happening? The defensive zone has never been worse.
Yeah, the only thing is about the offensive zone is that, it's like there's pressure, but then it's like, oh, but no goals. They don't know how to score whatsoever.
You know.
What was this?
I don't know if it's maybe just the transition to what Jeremy Colleton is looking for them to end up doing, but the D zone is it's a straight up disaster. It looked a little bit better against Calgary, but I mean, if it wasn't for Crawford in the first period, really, of that hockey game, I mean, he got shelled.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time he played well in a long time.
I think he's been playing pretty decent. He's just been getting hung out to dry, but that was like the first game where it was like he needed to stand on his head, and he absolutely did. He did above and beyond what he was supposed to.
I feel like he's been okay. He's been good, but he hasn't been the guy that everybody has said that he's supposed to be, that was going to save the season last year. You know, and maybe it's, I don't know, maybe a bit too judgmental for a guy who's just left a dark room not even a few months ago. But
yeah, I mean, coming back from what he came back from for as long as he was out, coming back to this, it's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah.
And who even knows if he's even 100%? You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
I think he is. I think he's doing all right.
Yeah.
If they waited that long, they're not going to be like, oh, you're 90%. Like, let's just get it going now. Like, we need to win. Like,
and he's proved it the past little bit here too.
Exactly.
That he's kind of feeling back to normal because he got hit pretty hard by Tom Wilson when Wilson scored against Washington. Got right back up. That one made me nervous. That made me really nervous. I think that's the first time he's really had any contact from anybody. He's had some risers go off his helmet and things like that, but I think that's the first actual physical contact he's taken. And then Sunday against Calgary, they were all in his kitchen. I mean, they were going in after the whistle. They were giving him hacks and whacks. I mean, Neil fell on him.
Yeah.
So, and I think the other big thing to take out of that, too, that little scrum with Neil, is that Crawford went into the scrum and pulled somebody out and it's like, all right, let's go.
Well, not only that, but it's funny because, like, everybody came in to, like, defend Crawford, and then somebody jumped on Kane, and as soon as somebody went near Kane, Crawford's like, nope, absolutely not. Nope. Like, I'll get fed before Kane or even gets touched.
Our enforcer's our goalie.
Exactly.
And DeBrincat.
Yeah.
Extremely sad to me.
You want one positive about Crawford, though?
What?
One positive about Crawford, in 4 less games, he has the same amount of points as Chris Kunitz.
Yep.
What a scumbag that guy is.
What a waste. Like, he sat, 3 games in a row, he comes back and just takes a penalty, like, in the first. Like, that was... I'm still upset. About that one.
Really, really bad hit, too, in the Calgary game. Not necessary at all.
Yep. Not whatsoever. And, I mean, like, you could tell he threw the elbow out. Like, he caught him good.
That was the major, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And
for somebody who's, 5'8", maybe 5'9", to hit somebody in the head, you got to lift it.
He's listed as 6 foot.
Yeah, that bow was flying. I mean, do you think he gets a call from player safety, or have they announced anything?
No,
or is he like
they would have announced it already, I think.
Is he like that irrelevant where it's like, he's actually hurting the team more being on the ice?
Yeah, probably.
No, I think they probably thought the same thing with that happened with Wilson getting him kicked out was probably enough.
Yeah. Which I don't know for the Kunitz one, but
yeah.
And then you got good old Dunks with the other 5-minute major as of late, getting tossed from a game. How'd you guys feel about that one?
I actually didn't see that.
The hit first?
I didn't see it.
I didn't think the hit was that bad. I thought he got turned almost into it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of caught him. It was like not straight to the back, but wasn't straight to the shoulder. And yeah, he was like, it looked like he was sort of turning. Yeah. And it just kind of made it look worse as he spun a little bit more. Yeah. But I mean, the thing.
Go ahead.
The thing with Keith is, it's just like, it seems like anytime something like that happens and he wants to stick up for himself, it's like, oh, good, Keith wants to stand up for himself, and then he waits, and then somebody else stands up for him, and then he tries to jump somebody from behind or something like that. And it's like, you had your opportunity, just like, be a man.
Exactly. So I was fine with him trying to go out and start a fight, get something going, because
absolutely, especially if he felt like it was a dirty hit. If he felt that way and he wanted to stick up for himself, 100% go for it, especially with trying to get the boys into 100%. The game. Absolutely, yeah.
That's okay.
100%.
I just looked at the video of the hit. That's a fucking clean hit.
Yeah, it really wasn't that bad.
Exactly. So I think what he was more so trying to do, I don't think he was necessarily upset about the hit. I think he saw it as an opportunity, like, all right, now I'm getting tossed around. Fuck this. I'm pissed. We're down 3-0. It's not even 5 minutes into this hockey game. I'm going to lose my mind. And he went and he started a fight, and other people got into it. The thing with Keith is, I don't think he's got an off switch when he does shit like that.
No,
when he gets to that place, because everything was done. To break it, and who was it? Not Ellis. Wilson? Was it Wilson? Colin Wilson?
No, Irwin.
It was Irwin. That DeBrincat fought.
Yeah,
Irwin.
It was Irwin.
Matt Irwin, yeah. DeBrincat and Irwin had a pretty good fight. I think usually once one good fight kind of pans out, everybody else just kind of goes, all right, we're just going to grab each other. and kind of lets everybody else go, right? It was all done. Everything was separated. And then out of nowhere, Keith just goes and starts wailing on, who was it, Janmark, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, just starts wailing on him. He
Yeah.
didn't even give him the opportunity to take his gloves off or anything. He just started going, and then
he came
he
in
did this
swinging.
weird wrestling move on the ice.
Yeah, took the ref out with him.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
he was lucky that the ref didn't end up getting hurt, though, like getting sliced or anything. Otherwise, he's looking at some serious.
Speaking of refs getting hurt, geez, how about that? There was back-to-back face-offs in the zone last game where the refs just went down right away. Oh my god, that was wild. But yeah, I don't know what it is with Keith. Like, he wants to be a tough guy, but it's like everybody knows he's soft and he just does stupid things, and I don't know. He's just an idiot sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really dumb, not smart.
Yeah.
Because I mean, great. Now we're down our quote unquote number one defenseman. Is that really what you wanted to get out of that?
At least one of our top pairing out.
Yeah, exactly. So that really didn't do us any good.
Yeah.
What is the next step here for the Hawks? Are you guys thinking that it's a little bit more of a positive thing that they played a better game against Calgary, or are we still kind of in, I don't know, this weird twilight zone area?
So the other day who did they play where they scored, DeBrincat scored late and they tied it and then they ended up winning was
a Florida game.
Florida. So in my mind, when that happened, I was like, you know what? Like, they still got that fire. Like, they can make something out of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there's a turning point in the season, this is the game. Like, this is the one that you're going to remember. And then they just came out flat against what they played Tampa it was Florida after Tampa. I don't even remember. Whoever they played next game after
Florida.
Florida.
Was after Tampa.
Yeah, so it was whatever game they after Florida.
Was it? I think that was a Calgary
they just came
game.
out flat. Like, they did not look good, and it's like,
yeah, it was
who
the
was
Vegas
it?
game.
Vegas, yeah, yes.
Vegas. Oh,
they came out so flat against them, and it's like you just had like this huge game, like on a back-to-back. Like, I thought that was like a huge moment, like, and they did not look fired up at all. And it's like, if that doesn't get you going, like, I don't know what's going to. This team just
exactly.
There's just no fire out of anybody, and it's upsetting to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
Lose
I
for
agree.
Hughes,
And,
baby.
I mean, it's. So Jeremy Colleton kind of said it after the Jets game. They scored 5 goals against the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, you should not lose that game.
They should win that game.
Yeah,
that should
absolutely.
be a win right there. Anytime you score 5 goals on the Jets, that should be a win. Anytime you score 5 goals in general, that should be a win.
And especially against the Jets, yeah. Another thing, I didn't mean to cut you off, but another thing that he said that I really liked is they were asking him about, like, him being new and everything. He's like, I'm not new anymore. Like,
not new.
They've had enough.
That.
He's like, they've had enough time to adjust. Like, this is it. Like, I'm not new anymore. And I just, like, that fired me up. Like, I don't understand how this team isn't, like, producing right now.
I'm still excited for this guy to be the coach. Like, I'm pumped that this guy is getting the opportunity to be this coach for this team. I just worried that he is getting put in a situation just to be set up for failure.
I mean, he already is.
But I'm just saying, though, like, is it going to be kind of like him? He's just the scapegoat for now until
he's the next Savvy.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. They wouldn't have promoted him so much otherwise. You know, I mean, when they first signed him, they were like, this guy is the real deal. He's going to end up taking over for Q someday. We want him to be our coach after Q is gone. You know, that was always kind of the mindset. So I don't think that they would use him as kind of a fall guy, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, he really isn't, he hasn't been given the best of any situation right now.
And, you know, it's difficult to give him, less than a month to kind of figure out what he wants, or, you know, whether or not he's kind of been good enough, I guess, to kind of pass a grade on him, I guess is more so what I'm trying to say. He needs more than a month.
Yeah.
To, kind of get everybody on the same page. And, he's right. He's not new. But at the same time, how difficult must it be to change your systems that you've known for 10 years?
Yeah.
And that's
not only
hard.
that,
it's just muscle memory at this point almost.
Not only that, but I mean, look at the team he has, especially on the back end. Like, it's just, we've talked about it. We've talked about it so many times that it's just, the defense is dog shit. Like, it's absolute dog shit. And it's just not looking any better than what we expected.
If it keeps going this direction, what is the next move?
They have to move one of Taves, Kane, Keith, or Seabrook. They have to move one of those guys, and it's not going to be Kane. 100%, you should never trade Patrick Kane. It's not going to be Taves because he's your captain. And you're not going to want to do that. Nobody's going to take that. He's actually been looking good. Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to be Seabrook because nobody's going to take that contract. So I think it's Keith, and some people still think Keith can be a superstar defenseman.
Yeah. I think
that would be the biggest move.
Yeah, we said it before. He still has that status of superstar around the league, where we've kind of seen otherwise that he's losing it. Really, I mean, he really doesn't. He's not as electric as he used to be. He's not making as many smart plays as he used to be.
So, speaking of smart plays, I've been really thinking about it lately, and I've never been a Keith fan, and I'd never thought he was that great of a defenseman. So, watching him play now, he's making the same stupid plays he always has been making, but he had so much puck luck before, and he had so many good players out there making smart plays that they looked like genius plays, but really he was just blindly throwing the puck all the time. And now nobody's in the way, or he just doesn't have the luck anymore, and people are realizing what is he doing? Yeah.
Is it puck luck? Or was it something that you just didn't see back then, but you see a little bit more nowadays? You know how he would always make those behind-the-back passes to the middle?
Yeah.
But he knew that somebody was swinging up, and he was going to pick up that pass. Sharpie would come and pick up that pass. I don't know. Back in 2010, 2011, those kinds of plays weren't plays that were made ever by any defenseman.
Because
that was always
they're kind of dumb plays.
They are dumb plays, but the Hawks had used it so much and they had practiced it so well that it actually ended up working. So I feel like that also kind of plays into it as well. I don't know if I would necessarily call it puck luck, more so that it wasn't anything that anybody had really seen before used as a play,
Well, I mean, one thing that comes to mind, one particular play, it was the playoff where Johnny Tate scored that game-winning OT goal in St. Louis. That exact play, the puck was right in the slot, and he literally just chopped it, and it just went.
And it just happened to be that Tate.
It just happened to be Tate with that center ice. That's literally just puck luck. You throwing the puck blindly, and it ends up landing on Tate. Those plays happen all the time for him, and now it's just nobody's there.
Yeah, I'll agree with that one.
Yeah, but obviously, I mean, he's not a complete moron. He knows where guys are on the ice. So,
no, yeah.
But it's just it doesn't work. It's not working, and he doesn't. He's not figuring out to change it up.
Well, because he's not the only one that does it anymore.
Yeah.
Other defensemen are starting to do that now. Edmund, Doughty.
Yeah.
That's just not how it goes.
Yeah. I'm so sick of them turning the puck over in the defensive zone and giving it right to in the slot. It's just ugh.
That game against Vegas might have been one of the worst hockey games in general that I've ever seen before. Not just Blackhawks, but just hockey in general. That was awful. Awful.
It made me question
somehow
the game a little
only
bit.
3-2 at one point.
What were you gonna say, Jeremy?
I said I kind of watching it. I kind of questioned. I'm like, why do I watch this? It was so bad and ugly. I can't even tell you if I finished watching the game. It was that bad.
Ugh, it's I'm not gonna not watch it because it's the Hawks.
Yeah.
Like it just brings me back to like 06, 07 when they weren't good, and I still watched. I was always there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna not watch, but it's like, and it's frustrating because I mean I don't know how much longer they can take losing because there's a lot of fans that aren't into it anymore, and like Rocky said, like Rocky's not gonna. We've talked about that before. Like Rocky's not gonna accept failure. He's like, I made this company successful. I made them a money-making team. Like, I'm not going to go back to the dark ages.
Kind of off topic, but did you guys see, I guess Jim Cornelison didn't sing the anthem at the Hawks game today.
Yeah, it was really, really weird.
What was that about?
I don't know. But yeah, it was strange. And it didn't sound right. And I don't know.
No, I mean, I was scrolling through Twitter to see what was going on, and a bunch of people were like, "Stan trade Jim Cornelison too." Was that his fault deal?
You know what, Jim? You're just not firing the people up right now. We need to change.
He tweeted
You're just not getting people going. I don't think this guy pointed during and the flag was still there either. Like, come on. What is this? This guy should know.
He tweeted out that he was sick with no voice.
Yeah, and obviously, like, there's no zoom in on it if there was, because there's no ring shining when you point with this guy. Like, come on. That's not going to get the people going.
No.
Yeah, he was sick with no voice. He was on vocal rest.
You know what? If Patrice Bergeron can play with a punctured lung, he can sing through his sickness, Jim. Like, fucking man up. Fuck. God damn Eichel.
Scored again.
Sorry.
Well,
go ahead.
Now that we kind of alluded to it, Nicky Schmaltz gets sent over to Arizona for Dylan Strome and Perlini.
Yep. Brandon Perlini, right?
I don't know his first name, actually. I just been calling him Perlini.
I think it is. I think it's Brandon.
Yeah. I'll look it up. At first, I didn't know how to take the trade. I wasn't 100% sure, and I feel like that was kind of the consensus around the Blackhawks fandom. I wasn't 100% sure if I liked it or not.
Brendan Perlini.
But now that...
Brendan,
thank you. Oh, yeah, because there's... Yeah.
Yeah, way to remember, Poets. Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, obviously. Because obviously, why wouldn't it be?
No, I saw a tweet that was like, we're back to being confusing with Brendan and Brandon's again.
Okay. That makes sense.
No, so we weren't 100% sure what we were going to be getting out of Dylan Strome, who, let's call spade a spade, does not have all that much experience at the NHL level.
And not like we totally bashed him in our preseason or anything like that.
No, we're talking about we loved him. Dilly.
Oh my God. Can we talk about that? The dilly thing?
I saw that and I was so excited. I could not tweet you guys fast enough.
Thing.
Yeah.
That was the greatest thing. I'm such a fan of that. I can't wait for him to start scoring like 30 goals if that ever happens. I want to see that all the time. A couple of games watching him, I thought he's been pretty consistent. Boy can win some faceoffs, I'll tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
That's my main takeaway.
Yeah, so just like you said, like when they announced the trade, I was kind of like, it wasn't a huge trade, but it has like the potential to be a huge trade for both sides, honestly. But it's like, it happened, and I was like, oh yeah, oh wait, okay, like I just didn't know like how to feel, but like, I mean, I don't know if we ever really talked about Schmaltz and how he's been playing this season, but I didn't see like we were saying, there's no fire, especially from him. Like there was.
It's almost been lazy.
Yeah.
There's really no other way to describe it other than it's been lazy.
He's he is such a talented player. Like, he has such the potential to be so good, but he just doesn't care. He's just out there skating around like it's a fucking throwaway game up in Rochester. Thank you.
He'll shake shades of it, but I don't think there's been a game, at least not this year, where he's been 100% balls to the wall, giving you his entire effort.
More than half the time I see him on the ice, he's gliding. He's very afraid to go in the corners. He does not work to get to the corners first. He doesn't win puck battles. And watching Strome, who obviously is the main point of the Hawks for the trade, watching him play, he's one of the few guys on the Hawks that have been driving to the net and going hard to the net. And that's something we're not going to get out of Schmaltz.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine, though,
I don't know.
if Strome and DeBrincat can just reunite that Erie Otter magic they had with each other?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that they're definitely looking for. But yeah, that would be dope if they could do that. I mean, hey, last game, Crow fed it up to Brinksy Cat, and Brinksy Cat over to Strome. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of see what kind of chemistry that they can recreate with one another. Somebody had said that, it might have been a tweet, I can't remember exactly where I saw it, but somebody had said, it might be great to have DeBrincat and Strome back together, but also their chemistry came in juniors, and this is a completely different type of game than juniors allows. Juniors is more so just a fast-paced, dangle all you want kind of hockey game, whereas in the NHL, obviously, it's not that easy.
No, it's not. It's a lot different, but at the same time, they have looked good so far. And honestly, who else are you going to put? Like, what are you going to do? Like, you don't have a number 2 center, and Strome is 100% going to be that guy, especially like you said on how well he is in the faceoffs.
Yeah. And
like, what are you going to? Are you going to drop Taves or move Kane and bring it up and move him with Taves?
Right.
Like, I don't see that.
As soon as we got Strome, I thought about the line of him, Kane, and DeBrincat together, and I thought that would be such a great line. And it actually wasn't bad. That first game, I think it was against Vegas.
Let's go!
It actually went really well.
Sorry.
It actually went really well offensively against Vegas. I think they ran it again against the Jets.
They were one of the few teams that actually could sustain like pressure in zone, and they were just buzzing the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand why they got split up, just because I don't know, like that's a lot to have on one line when you're not very deep in the first place. So I think it's more so let's try and spread it out where we can, type of a deal. So.
But then you go to Kane, Kampf, Cahoon line. It's like what? Like, when did Kane get on the 4th line? And then Pat Foley sitting there like, oh, it's the triple K line. And I'm like, oh, please don't say KKK. Please don't say it. Please don't say it, Pat.
The only reason he was saying the triple K line is because he kept on messing it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He didn't know who was out there half the time.
I know. He was like, can't cut. And one of the Hawks gets it.
It was great. It was hilarious.
Yeah. But speaking of Pat and Eddie, I cannot stand them anymore. I literally just can't do it. Like, them two together is the most annoying thing. When the Hawks are losing, like, it's just they're still laughing and joking. And I'm like, shut your dirty whore mouths. You sound like jagoffs.
Honestly, I love that.
I hate it.
It keeps it light. Put this smile on your face when you're feeling like a piece of dog shit.
No,
I think that's hilarious.
It frustrates me more, and I think they sound like idiots. Like, I'm sorry, you're buddies and stuff, but I don't care about your inside jokes, especially when the Hawks are down to the Jets 6-3. Like, please, just don't right now.
Well, okay, so here's my question. What would you rather have them do? Would you rather have them be like, well, this sucks, Hawks suck, Or would you
Yes,
rather have
because
be...
that's what a real fan is saying right now.
Well, they're not
Just let them be one of us.
fans.
Yeah, if we have to be miserable, they need to be miserable.
They have to. They cannot. They're getting paid millions of dollars to watch this. I was sacrificing my time to do this. They don't get to do it for fun. I do like how Olczyk has been ragging on them, though. He is ragging on their effort, and I have enjoyed his little rants. I will say that.
He gave it to him again in that national game, I believe.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm. I was a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm like, you can do that the whole game. I'll be happy because I'm just like, yes, thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Not, oh, it's tree. Look at that ice cream cone. I don't fucking care about this stupid kid with an ice cream cone.
It's soft serve.
Oh, soft serve. Tree. Shut up.
It's so funny.
It's terrible.
He's just a cynic.
You would not hear Doc Emmerich do that.
Yeah, you would.
No, he talks about helmet masks.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, for that helmet mask.
Get the post with the shot. Well, I don't care what you say. They're still the best. So what's so let's throw worst case Ontario, best case Ontario here. Best case, the Hawks end up figuring it out, make a run for the playoffs here. Do they end up making a move at the deadline? Do they what do they do to kind of move forward here? Are they going to look towards next season? Are they going to try and make the playoffs this year? Probably surprise some people, or what?
I mean, if you're not in the playoffs by in the playoff spot by January, I mean, you're sellers at the deadline, in my opinion.
I mean, right now we only have $3 million to work with currently.
I mean,
I guess 15 for deadline cap space.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously you have a ton of no move clauses, so it's gonna be hard to even move anybody at the deadline. But I mean, it's I don't know how it's gonna be this year, but it's pretty much proven that if you're in the playoff spot by American Thanksgiving, you're gonna be in a playoff spot. But obviously this year it's so tight. Like the points are so tight right now.
Yeah,
you have no idea what's gonna be. But I mean, it doesn't look good. I'm hopeful that maybe they'll make a playoffs and maybe win a game in the playoffs or something. But it's not probable.
I almost rather them like you said, if they're not in a playoff spot by say January, I'd rather have them just not do anything stupid, bringing on like contracts and all that.
Yeah,
to try to make a run because
don't make any moves unless you're selling.
Yeah, because right now with the cap's limit or the salary cap supposedly going to be $83 million. With the roster what we have right now into next year, we're around $21 million in cap space.
Yeah, and honestly, you can make a move. Apparently, people have been saying that the Hawks are all in on Panarin. I mean, I don't know how much you can throw at him compared to what he's going to want, but you can make a move to go get a solid D, and that could help out a ton.
If you can somehow convince someone to take either Seaves or Keith at the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
So here's my question, and if, say, by February, Hawks are still towards the bottom of the division, the conference, what have you, how long does Stan Bowman get to stay around and possibly screw up this roster even more?
I don't think he should make it to the offseason. I really don't, and I have a bias.
I think he will. I think he will, just based on the fact that I don't see them firing their coach and their GM in the same year. Especially, I mean, there's not a ton of hope going into the season, and then after everything that's happened, there's really not a ton of hope. So it's not like there's nothing.
I don't know that I agree with that.
There's nothing really he can do right now to help.
No, I mean, I don't agree with the statement of there wasn't any hope going into the season. I think there was a lot of hope.
There was hope there. I just don't think there was a ton of hope. Like, I mean, compared to every other year where it's like, oh, they're going to make a cup run. They're going to make a cup run. Did you expect to make a cup run this year going into the season?
No.
No,
that's what I mean.
Okay, so you're saying more so the expectations weren't.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah, I guess hope's the wrong word. Expectations, I mean.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
Oh, okay.
He's going to give...
No, I can agree with that, though.
He's going to give the oldest fourth liner $3 million plus a no movement clause.
Right.
And it sucks because I know he's not going to get fired. I just think if this is a situation, this is a turning point for the organization. And I think if there's the opportunity to bring in somebody new when we have this potential like cap freedom, why not explore that?
I say wait and do it before the draft if you're going to. Get a new guy in, have him talk to the scouts for the draft, and then you have a ton of cap space going into next year, and you can make some moves if need be.
Okay, so we're kind of on the same page that going by the draft / going to free agency, there should be a new GM. Is that what we're saying? Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
But I don't think it's this year. Like, there's no point this year. I don't feel.
I'm saying like I don't think he should be going into the offseason, like this upcoming offseason. I don't think he should be in charge of making any of the decisions about the future.
I think if anything, it should be the day after the season ends.
Yeah.
Goodbye. You're out.
Honestly,
or maybe even give him the Alain Vigneault treatment as soon as the last game ends. Peace. You're done.
Yeah. Honestly, I bet he makes it through another. After this year, he goes one more year. I bet he does.
Lord help us.
Yeah.
Because he'll make some sort of moves where the Hawks will be like, oh, we have potential. Like, we have something to look forward to, and it's not going to pan out again.
Yeah.
What former Hawk is available this offseason? Besides Panarin.
Panarin.
Yeah. Buff?
Yeah.
Maybe Bufflin?
Verstegen to make a comeback?
Sick.
No. Bufflin?
No.
Got wrecked, too, a couple days ago. He's out of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he came back to that game.
He was weebly wobbly. Yeah, he really. Oh, good Lord.
He had to get pretty much pulled off the ice. He went to the back room. They let him play in the rest of the game, and the next day he got moved to IR for concussion. So, yikes. What's the point of the spotters?
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if there's going to be any kind of a fine or maybe like a...
Nothing that I've heard of.
Suspension or something like that for those trainers or the spotters or something.
Nothing that I've heard of, and it's been over a week, I believe, already. So I don't think there's going to be anything.
Well, kind of changing gears, Jeremy, you mentioned it. Cap is going to end up going up to $83 million. It was
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. That's what they're thinking, which means a lot for a lot of different teams. How does this affect the Blackhawks, number one, and the rest of the NHL, number two?
I mean, honestly, it's a good sign, obviously, because it just shows that the NHL is making more money each year.
Yeah.
So it just gives each team a little bit more leeway on being able to sign players, especially after what we've seen in Toronto, obviously, with Nylander asking for more money. I mean, these guys are this is the greatest NHL's ever been. Like, every team has superstars on their team. They're gonna want money no matter what. I mean, you got fourth line guys making $4 million. I mean, they need the space, so it's huge. Even if it is only 2.5 that it's going up or whatever, like it's huge.
Yeah. Well, and it also helps too with the salary cap going up. That there's another team entering the league now. Seattle finally got their team.
The worst kept secret.
What?
Yeah, no kidding.
It was like the worst kept secret that they were going to get a team.
Oh yeah.
The second that season ticket.
You think there's going to be another expansion? Definitely not Seattle if there is one. No, I don't think so. Nope, not at all.
It was like what? They sold the amount of tickets Vegas sold their entire season ticket drive within the first 10 minutes or something like that.
10 minutes, I think they said they sold. I don't remember exactly. But they said in the first 10 minutes they sold a certain amount of season tickets. I can't remember exactly what number it was.
It's unreal.
Did you guys watch the press conference at all today?
No, unfortunately, I couldn't.
There was one question that was, what are you going to do for your fans that are already gotten their season tickets, but they're and I forgot if it was the owner, the president, whoever that old guy was. But he was like, well, we don't have an arena yet, so it wouldn't be smart to start selling tickets, would it?
It wouldn't be smart selling a product we don't have anything for yet.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Thought that was good. But, no, exciting to see Seattle coming in. Changes some things alignment-wise.
One quick question, though, before we go into that.
In the Pacific, yeah, and then Arizona going to switch over to the Central. So that heated Vegas-Arizona rivalry is now dead.
Yeah, the Battle of the Desert is no more. Mm-hmm. Well, in 3 years.
Before we get to realignment, what do you guys think of the name? What's the name going to be? Do you agree with the Vegas odds on the totems?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like it's going to end up being.
Yeah, what was the Kraken would be unreal.
That is my favorite one.
That would be absolutely
would
insane.
Be cool.
I would love to see what kind of jerseys those would be.
The Emeralds, I don't think I quite enjoy those. Apparently the jersey, the design and the color scheme is going to be kind of like what that girl was wearing today, apparently. I guess that's why they had her wear that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it Cole or
black and red? I believe it was black shoulders with the red base.
Oh God, the Kraken would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was like
awesome,
more of a
then.
maroon, but yeah,
that would be so cool with the Kraken.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't go too hard on you.
Thank you. No, but I mean, so this brings us to 32 teams coming in the 2020-2021 year.
21-22 year.
Oh, yeah, it's after 2021. Yeah.
Possible lockout year.
What's the next step here for the NHL? Is it, because you can't really go over 32 teams.
Absolutely not.
30 was pushing it. Getting us to 32 is now we're maxed. So what's the next move here to kind of keep things fresh? Is it just plain and simple realignment, or we get some teams to probably move around?
It's gonna be. It's hard to say that it's gonna be like a relocation, but because I don't know who it would relocate because they want the teams where they're at. Like no matter how bad they're doing. I mean, look at Arizona; they don't get the fans out there as much as they should. Their team's not that great, but because of them, you have Austin Mathews. So it's like it's hard to move that kind of team, but at the same time, it's like if Carolina, if they're not figuring out, it's like you kind of have to at some point.
Yeah. So, Jeremy, you made a point earlier in our group text saying that this kind of sets up the move to Houston for Arizona. And I was thinking about it. I mean, you're not wrong. That would make it a little bit easier for them, because I guess what they're doing with their schedule once Seattle does come in is they're going to play all their games against the Pacific, or at least a good chunk of them, at the beginning of the year while they're still on Pacific time. And then when the clocks turn for daylight savings and they go to mountain time, they're going to go and play out the rest of their schedule, which was how I kind of understood it. So it would make it a little bit easier scheduling-wise to have a team in Houston. But I guess my question is, if Arizona kind of keeps on the track that they're going and they keep getting better and better and better and getting more and more fans, is that really a good idea?
Yeah, especially honestly, their team has the potential to be so good right now. Especially with being in the Pacific for the next 3 more years, like that division sucks ass. So I mean, Ranta is not even healthy right now, and they look good. I mean, they've got a solid young group of kids that can fucking play. So yeah, I mean, and it's like when they do well, they do get fans out there. So I just and seeing that the NHL literally bought them for a whole year, I don't see why the NHL would ever want to move them.
So
that's a good point too.
Here is what I think the issue is with Arizona and why they would be considered a realignment or a relocation.
Oh baby, let's go! Austin Mathews. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I don't think it's not the level of the team playing. I don't think it's the fans' support. It's the arena. They cannot get arena set in a location that is going to be financially beneficial for, I believe, the league and the team. I think that's the biggest issue, and it's been a couple of years where they've had these town hall meetings and all this voting, like, are we going to bring this team here? We're going to bring this here. And then as that's going on, Bettman has said, well, if it's not going to work out there, we'll have no choice but to look for realignment. So I think the whole key factor is, are they going to be able to lock down a arena that makes sense to keep a team in that area?
I mean, I
honestly think that's the huge whole factor. Like, if that team was playing like in downtown Phoenix, or maybe just outside of Phoenix, it would be a completely different story with these guys. But isn't the arena like an hour or something away from Phoenix or something like that?
Or what is it, Glendale?
Yeah, it's like, I mean,
Scottsdale.
It's a drive.
Glendale, I think.
Glendale, yeah. I mean, honestly, all those cities aren't that far from each other, but obviously not being in like a downtown area like Phoenix is obviously not going to be beneficial.
No.
But it comes down to, if they're winning, they're still going to get fans out there. I feel like that's just the main point. They need to win.
They're in Glendale right now.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah. Like, every time I think about it, I just go back to thinking like the NHL literally bought them to make sure that they didn't relocate. Like, why? And now Austin Mathews is tearing it up. Like, why would they ever make a move? Like, it just doesn't make sense like for NHL. I think that
it's a good point.
I think Carolina would be more of a move, and it'd be to Quebec. I think that would be a quicker move than Arizona to Houston, especially Houston. Like, I don't feel like the Stars sell out that much in Dallas. Why bring another team to Houston?
There's a lot of support for a team in Houston, though. Like,
I don't understand it. Like, I really don't.
And I gotta.
I heard the demand was almost like Seattle.
Yeah.
But then again, it didn't make sense for them to go to Vegas. But look at how it is. So I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. Always.
All right, and I want to correct myself real quick before I get chirped. It's only like a 17-minute drive from Glendale to Phoenix. So
yeah, there's like 3 major cities down there, and they're all like relatively close to each other.
Yeah.
So then I have no idea what the issue is then.
Yeah, it's more of an issue for Ottawa probably than it would be for the Coyotes.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to talk about relocation? I've had a couple ideas that I want to throw out there. I mean, obviously, I've said Arizona to Houston. We talked about that. Ottawa to Quebec. And Carolina back to Hartford.
I don't think anything is ever going to happen with Ottawa. Just because, I mean, they're the very first NHL team, really. They're the oldest, I guess. They were created back like in early 1900s, like the 1910s. So I don't think they would do anything to move them just from a historical standpoint. I really don't know what to say about Ottawa.
Or would it make more sense? Or would it make more sense to move Carolina to Quebec so you get another Canadian team?
But also it doesn't make sense to move a team from North America or from America to Canada, because just based off of the dollar, like the value of dollar between American and Canadian dollar. Because that's kind of something they worry about a lot, which I mean you don't think of as a fan, but it goes huge into how much money they make based off of, because all the revenue that they get is in American. So I mean, if you're selling out in Canada, you're not technically making as much as you think you are. So I don't know, and it affects the cap definitely. But at the same time, I mean, if you're selling out every game in Quebec, what's the difference between that and having a couple thousand in Carolina every day?
Yeah, that arena in Quebec too. It's such a shame that they don't have a team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they should have never left there, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they don't deserve one. I'm just.
Oh no, yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's a shame that, and it sucks that right now it just looks like Quebec is just shit out of luck.
Yeah, and I would love to watch some battle of Quebecs between Montreal and Quebec, and just fucking watching those Nordiques jerseys are filthy.
Oh yeah,
I would love for them to bring back the Nordiques. I mean, if they go there, they have to do like the Nordiques, right?
Yeah, but we said the same thing about the Jets, and they completely changed it up.
What?
Are you talking about the jerseys or the team name?
The team.
Oh, the team name. Yeah, of course they got to do the Nordiques. I thought you were talking about the jerseys. I said that.
Yeah.
Can they though? Because technically it's Colorado.
Yeah, but the Jets was Phoenix, and the Thrashers moved it there and took it.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah,
so I think as long as
I always get confused when it comes to that kind of thing. You know?
I think as long as the rights, if Colorado still owns the rights to Quebec Nordiques, I think as long as it gets sold or whatever, or like they do like a transfer agreement or something, it's not an issue.
Yeah, who knows if they even technically own it anymore anyway.
Yeah. Well, Noli, let's get to the big news coming from the NHL. Willie finally signs his deal, and not a second too soon, might I add.
Yeah, 6 by 6.9. Nice. Way to go, Willie.
And the deal it had to be done by 5 p.m. Eastern Time on December
1st.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that deal was officially signed and done at 4:55. Holy cow!
Yeah, I was watching interviews from Dubas, and somebody asked, like, when were you confident you were going to get a deal done? And he said at 3:30 Central, when Willie called and said, "Hey, can we get a deal done?" Like it was literally just Willie just waiting to the very, very last minute to get as much as he could, and Dubas just holding out. It
was literally who's going to blink first.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you can't fault either side in this situation. I mean, Willie thinks he deserves so much, especially with that he can't get a no-move clause. Like, I understand he doesn't want to get lowballed and then get traded. But at the same time, it's like if you're the Leafs, you have to take a stand. Otherwise, Marner and Mathews they're going to ask for the world. Like you have to get this guy at a decent price. So I understand it sucks. We lost 2 months of a really good hockey player, but he's back and supposed to play Thursday. So I am stoked. And not only that, I fucking love Nylander. He's one of my favorite Leafs.
I don't know. I'm still under the impression of if I was his teammate and I knew that he was holding out over a couple $1 million, which to an NHL player is practically nothing. I know he wanted the no-move clause and whatever. There's probably more of it going into it. But I still think like if I'm his teammate, I probably would have lost a little respect.
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, he's skating.
I think it's.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, if I'm like his teammate, I mean, we're out here, we're busting our balls. Finally, we got a team together for the first time since 2003. That's got a legitimate chance to win a show. And you're going to hold out over a couple $1 million while we're out Austin Mathews for 3. Our main guy is hurt. We could be using him right now. You could be helping us when they.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Mathews isn't here.
The thing is, Mathews went down this.
How I would have seen it.
Mathews went down. They still had a winning record. They're 20-8 right now without Nylander. Like, I mean, they're doing well without him. Like, they're a cup contender without him. Just adding him is like just puts them over the iceberg, like tip of the iceberg there. And honestly, I don't. I mean, if you're in that situation, like Mathews and Marner, they're gonna want to get paid also. So I mean, they can't really be in that position of like, oh fuck this dude. Like they haven't even been able to be in that position themselves. So I mean, you can't really judge somebody from what they do until you put yourself in that position. And
yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
It's like
literally everybody called him all the time and texted him while they were waiting. And as soon as he came back, like they were like little kids on Christmas. They were all fucking ecstatic. Like they were so stoked that he signed. I mean, it's just one of their best friends, you know. You're not getting. If me and you were on the same team, the three of us were on a team, and I held out for 2 months, and you guys were still winning without me. Are you really going to resent me that much?
No, man. Go get paid.
Exactly.
Now, if it was just outside of a wild card spot, you know, and it's like that, you know, oh, what's going on type of season, I think that's when the story changes a little bit.
Absolutely.
It doesn't change. I still don't think it changes as much as you were saying, Poets, where it's like it causes a problem in the locker room. I think it's just more of a frustrated, like, all right, man,
they're gonna be
let's just get going. Let's go.
Right now, it's just like, hey, we're winning without you. We have a potential to go way further with you, though.
I don't know. I guess. I just think it's greedy and petty when he's going to end up making that money at some point anyway. Why not just wait? You know, help your team get as far as you possibly. You're going to take a couple on this year.
In the end, though,
hey, I mean, he's doing that though. He signed. He waited till the very last minute and he signed. Even no matter what he wanted, he just wanted to play at the end of it, and he held out to get as much as he could, and he did that, and he signed.
And here's one argument I have with what you said, and I hear it on like Chicklets a lot too. They're like, what you just said. It's like, oh, you're gonna get paid anyways. Honestly, there's no guarantee.
Exactly.
Why? I mean, you need to do what you can to get that now, because who knows what happens next year. Like, you know, God forbid some like freak accident happens and he's never allowed to play hockey. You know, he's got to retire.
That's why getting such a huge signing bonus like he did, he's making $10 million the first year. He's getting 42% of his signing, like the 42% of what he's making in the first year. And maybe the Leafs weren't offering that upfront at first. Like you don't know exactly what the contract details were that we're stopping him at all the way till the end.
That part is incredible.
Yeah. Which it's absolutely insane. I mean, I think he gets $10 million in signing bonus this year, and then his salary for the second year is only $300,000, and he gets another $2 million in signing bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull it up real quick and see if they have it.
It's something along those lines.
Yeah,
which also might be.
So next year, the reason it's $10 million this year, it's because it's prorated for his time missed.
Well, that's because of the cap hit.
Right,
the cap hit goes up to
so
10,
his base salary this year is $10 million with a $2 million signing bonus. Next year, his signing bonus is $8.3 million. His base salary is $700,000.
Yeah,
and then after the rest of the contract, it's a $3.5 million signing bonus with a $2.5 million base for the rest of the contract.
Yeah, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Which also, those kind of contracts and those kind of signing bonuses might cause some, might be another reason for a lockout going forward. So, yikes.
So, do you think first, let me ask, this is a two-part question. First, was this a win for Nylander?
I think this is a win for both sides.
Okay. So, do you think that seeing how this played out, more RFAs are going to start taking advantage of this? And you're going to start pulling this move, waiting till December 1st?
It's hard to say because, I mean, it's been an option for all of them for so long, but this is the first time we've seen it literally go till the very last minute. But
nobody's had the balls to do it.
Exactly. And, I mean, honestly, I think a lot of it was his dad in his ear, like telling him to wait. So, and I don't think a lot of players' dads are going to be in their ear like that. Like I think Pochi pointed out before that his dad has done this to teams before too, like when he was playing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I it's hard to say, but I think a lot more players are going to wait it out. Because what was it? Nick Ritchie in Anaheim was waiting too, right?
I don't remember.
This year,
I don't remember hearing
there was another guy in Anaheim waiting out. I mean, he only waited like 3 weeks or something, and then he got it.
Wasn't it Richie or something like that?
Yeah, Nick Ritchie. Yeah, he ended up getting like 1.3 mil or something like that. But like he held out.
And then Trubo.
Just nobody noticed because Nylander obviously stole the show.
Yeah.
Wasn't Trubo, or however you say his name, from the Jets? Didn't he do this too? A couple years ago.
Yeah, I think
he signed
so.
in the offseason, though. I think he signed right before the season started.
Yeah, I don't really remember, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
does this get you worried about what's going to happen with Mathews and Marner now?
I think they have Mathews set. I think they know exactly what they're going to pay him. I think they're just going to try and get Marner to as little as possible. I think it's going to be more worrisome for Marner.
And the way he's
fucking salary,
man.
And the way he's been playing, he's fucking fourth. Yeah, I mean, it only gives you 2.5 extra mil. I mean, they got a lot of space right now, but I mean, they're projecting Mathews is probably going to make 11.
Yeah,
he's going to make at least 30
points.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, Mathews just got his 15th goal in 14 games. You know? So, I mean, it all depends on how the rest of his season goes. Plus, his health has always kind of been an issue, too. I mean, he's
been hurt 4 times already.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's also something that you got to consider as well. But Marner...
But he also, every single time he's come back and had at least a 7-game point streak when he comes back, and he scored at least 3 points the very next game. So it's like, hey, if you're going to get hurt in like the final and then come back and tear it up for a 7-game series.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to have a decent amount of cap space to play with next year, and they'll have 10. And they have 10 guys they need to re-sign between RFAs and UFAs. But
yeah, and I mean, some of those guys aren't coming back. Like Ron Hainsey, he's not coming back. Yeah. Like that. What is that? $2 million or something like that? $3 million in cap space too.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean that kind of a player isn't going to get $3 million into no movement clause in the next 2 years?
Stan Bowman's going to give him a call. You bet your ass that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he won.
And he's going to get probably. He's going to probably get
that veteran presence.
He'll probably get a 6
in Chicago.
He'll get a 6x6.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, looking at it, it's going to be interesting. Like these players keep getting better and better, and you're paying for their potential compared to, you know, how far they've come and how many points they can put up.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting how Dubas is going to play that. I mean, it seems like he's had a plan in place for a while, and it feels like he got what he wanted out of that Willie deal. So I think all is still kind of going along the same course that Dubas wanted.
Yep, like I said, I think it's win-win for both sides.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, and like you said too, I'm just really curious how this is going to affect the Nets CBA.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just in time for Seattle to come in too. Like I think that's the season.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
They'll
inaugural season. Let's push it back a year, though.
Can you imagine their inaugural season only being like a 48-game season?
Yeah.
That would suck.
That's 48-game start of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great. You guys have anything else? Do you guys want to talk about the Wilson hit real quick?
No, I think it's past. We're past that. I think it's enough's been said about that. It's an idiot doing stupid shit, and it's gonna take one of those that's gonna hurt somebody and really gonna fuck him.
Yeah, it's a thing too because I actually like him as a player. Other than that,
he has been unreal for them since he came back.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like a Marchand where it's like he doesn't need to play that kind of way because he's so effective when he's healthy and playing.
Like when you text us about that hit and I finally saw the video, it was like my first reaction was, you don't need to be doing that shit.
Exactly. But also like so that kind of hit, I get why people were upset because it was Wilson. Like he could have tried to move out of the way more, but at the same time he did try to move out of the way. But at the same time, it's like I know that type of player, and you put yourself in a position to where you get as close as you can, and then you make the effort to get out of the way. Not saying that's what he did, but that kind of player, like they're smart enough to put themselves in a situation where they can do something stupid and not look dumb doing it.
He's kind of in the same situation as Marchand in the respect of,
don't lick people.
Well, no, I guess benefit of the doubt. That's gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the both of them. I
mean,
it
should
if he did try to get out of the way because of the shit he's pulled in the past, how are we supposed to believe that?
Yep.
So I think he needs to be careful. Really.
You want benefit of the doubt. Don't do stupid shit like that constantly.
Yeah. Especially when since you've come back, the Caps have been 8-1. Like why? And you've scored 7 goals?
Yeah,
You're more effective on the ice putting up points, giving Ovi and Backstrom space out there than you are throwing stupid hits to take guys out of place.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well, did we get any riding planes, Jim?
I don't believe so. Nobody likes us.
Okay.
It's probably.
Well, I mean, people probably don't realize
we put it out an hour before.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's been like 2 months or whatever.
It's literally been a month.
8 years.
Actually,
yeah.
It's almost been a month to the day.
Nice. Well, we almost nailed it. We should have waited a little longer.
Yeah, the last time we recorded was the day Q was fired.
Nice. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk to you when Bowman gets fired.
Oh, you betcha. I will fucking live stream on Instagram when Bowman gets fired of me running around cheering. I was like, I'm going to probably be as happy as I was.
Through the quad naked?
Yes, I will. I will fucking do it.
Yeah, bring your green hat.
I was saying, like, as bad as it sounds, I think I'll be, like, as excited as I was when I heard that dollar bill died.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. I don't care. That was, like, the best day. That was, like, Christmas.
Oh, boy.
He's dead.
I took it there. And I'm not taking it back.
Were you one of the people on opening night that booed his name as they were doing it on the silence?
No.
That was one of you. That was you, wasn't it?
No, I wouldn't do that.
That's like,
I wouldn't do that. I would cheer. I was happy in my home, but I would never go out and say that.
I was happy and cheering, and then I did a moment of silence,
it's not like we're on a public
I was happy and cheering.
No, you got to be. I'm not that big of an asshole.
Well, you're proving yourself wrong.
Yeah. Well, fellas, this has been fun. Any final thoughts?
Boobs, airplanes, ground, ice. Those are my thoughts.
Brown ice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Brown ice as in chocolate ice cream, or brown ice as in I shit my pants while I was on the ice?
No, I said ground.
I think you said
the earth.
I'm sorry, I'm colorblind. So.
Oh yes, obviously, because you said brown. You racist.
Yeah. Well. All right, Charm, anything?
I'm just gonna say lose for Hughes. I'm all aboard that train right now.
I'm not aboard that train at all.
I
because I'll never get them.
I can't hope for a team like Bucks.
But you know what though? We're not gonna lose. We can still lose enough. Like look at New Jersey. They had a low odds of winning that first round pick or that first overall pick, and they got it. I'm not saying tank completely. Just do enough. I mean, if you're not gonna make the playoffs, just take it easy.
Yeah.
Take it easy a little bit.
Could the Hawks trade Winter Classics for high draft picks now?
Oh, God.
Well, honestly, like like this should be the last Winter Classic for them because they nailed the jersey so well.
I was about to say we haven't talked about the jerseys on here.
Yeah,
Holy shit!
Yeah,
because we didn't know what they looked like last time.
I know. Oh my god!
Both jerseys look incredible.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah,
well,
it's gonna be really good.
It'll be a good sight to see, but it's not gonna be a fun one.
No.
I hope to God that it's not a disaster like the Minnesota one was.
Well, it's almost guaranteed.
Yeah, that's true. All right, boys. Well, this was fun. Hopefully, we don't wait as long to do this again the next time. So, for Post, Snowley, and John, thanks for coming along on episode 51, the Soupy. We'll see you guys. We'll see you next time.
Soupy!
Follow the guys on Twitter at WCBP, on Instagram, WCB Podcast, and like them on Facebook, the Windy City Benders Podcast. The Windy City Benders Podcast.